Today is the day where you get your answers about choir leadership and how to navigate it. Even if you're not a choir leader, even if you're a member, you begin to see standards and patterns that you should expect from your choir leader and choir leadership. Hello, my name is Neka. Welcome to the Choir Music Podcast. Yes, your favorite choir member is here again, and today is going to be a banger. Why? Because we'll have a special guest on. Her name is Janet Ajayi. I don't need to talk too much. She's going to introduce herself, and then you see for yourself how special she is. Yes. Okay. So, like I said, her name is Janet Ajayi. We're going to be talking about choir leadership and choir administration today. If you have questions, if you have any question in your heart, any question you need answered, today is the day where you get your answers about choir leadership and how to navigate it. Even if you're not a choir leader, even if you're a member, you begin to see standards and patterns that you should expect, from your choir leader and choir leadership. All right, like I said, she's going to introduce herself. I will just let her take it away. Welcome, Janet.
Hi, everyone. My name is Janet Ajayi. Um, I'm a music minister by calling. By virtue of church administration, I happen to lead the choir by God's grace, and for a while now. And I'm a child of God. I love God. I love people. I love to see people worship God, experience God while worshiping. It's one of my passions. And yeah, so that's much about me.
Okay, absolutely. And yeah, you can see her heart when she speaks. So we'll just go right to the next question, which is what led up to your choir leadership? Tell us your choir story. How did you join the choir and how did the process, take place? So how did it happen that you entered into choir leadership? Like what was your process, your choir story and then the choir leadership story?
I started singing as far back as from my childhood. Even before I actually joined the children choir, my mom was in the choir, so I would sing all their songs offhand. I still remember some of them till date, and I just saw that I love singing. And then when I reached the age to join the children choir, of course you didn't have any option than to join, right? So that's the only thing you could do. So I had to join the children choir, and I saw that I had so much passion for singing. I loved singing so much, even in the bathroom, those people that sing in the bathroom. So I was one of them. I would sing aloud in the bathroom. And yeah, and ever since then, everywhere that I've been, I've always been, I couldn't really do any other thing, like join the ushering department or do any other thing except choir. So yeah, that has been my passion. And yeah, and here we are today. And speaking of leadership, I found myself in it. Yeah, that's the way I would start. I found myself in it, and it started when I was in secondary school. Uh, we were all like you. We were all in the final class, and of course, the final class students will lead the fellowship. So we were all friends. The fellowship president, the vice president, every one of us, and to it's so funny. The fellowship president was actually a senior prefect, and so by virtue of that, all the prefects were part of the school fellowship, and I happened to lead the choir at that time, even though it was not like officially pronounced that you are leading the choir, but I just found myself in it. So that was when the leadership role started. And ever since then, everywhere that I went, I've always been called to lead the choir. And through my higher institution and my service year, everywhere, even if it's not like even if it's just a mini program in the fellowship, like okay, we're doing Brothers and Sisters Day or anything like that, they will always call me, come and lead the choir. And I didn't really pay attention to it, not until when I came to Canada, and the first time I would participate in the women's weekend, I was also called again to lead the choir. And that was when I paused. I said, oh, wait. So everywhere that I've been to, I've always been called to lead the choir. What is going on, right? So I just had to that called my attention to it, that okay, there's something about this that you need
Yeah.
to take it more serious, right? So yeah, and here we are today. I, by the grace of God, happened to find myself leading the choir again. So, and God has been faithful so far. Yeah, that's my
Absolutely.
story.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Just listening to your trajectory and having personally experienced your leadership, uh, just being under your leadership for a bit, it's evident why you have this recurring, recurring event of having been called to be a choir leader because the leadership is has the personality, and when people can trust you to deliver on a vision, naturally you'll be called up to to be a part of that. So it's not anything new. There's more to come. I see that you're more preventive in
Yeah.
your approach to challenges. You're more preventive in your approach. And it's not just not being confrontational. It's I think you're a praying person because the atmosphere under your leadership is different. There's less strife. And I think from one of the best ways to prevent strife and issues when you're leading people is prayer. And I perceive that you're a praying person. Even from being under your leadership, you're always putting prayer first. You're always putting the spiritual first. And I see because the challenges you're saying, I've seen choir with big issues. Challenges
Yeah.
you're talking about is, and the way your approach is more preventive, and it's not just in the way you position yourself, it's the way you position yourself in the spirit. I was watching something that Lawrence Oyo said. He said that usually that there's this leader in his campus fellowship, and if sometimes he will come and say something, everybody will say, hey, yes, let's do it, no issues, no questions asked. And sometimes he will come and say something, and even if it's not even a major decision, they will argue from morning till night.
Yeah.
And then one day, I think the conversation arose that they had to have about why is it this way? Why is it sometimes we fight, sometimes we don't fight? And the choir leader said, the reason why we don't fight sometimes is that those times I pray and soak all of you in the spirit and bash on all your heads, so that there'll be no strife. And when I come actually in the meeting, there is so much peace and oneness, and everybody agrees on something that is positive and will make sure will affect everybody positively. So I perceive that with you. I've been in several of your leadership meetings, and there's hardly people raising their voice. We end up just joking and laughing and actually making decisions and actually reaching goals and actually people having their minds feeling like they've been heard, and then they've contributed to it, and they feel they have to execute with alongside with you. So I perceive that you correct me if I'm wrong, that your one of your mantle is being strong in the spirit. Can you speak more about that, please?
Well, yeah, you are right. Because you can't do anything without the Holy Spirit helping you. Yeah, you are very right. Like, personally, my personality, I try as much as possible to avoid any trouble. Yeah, I'm preventive. Using your word, I'm a preventive person. I prefer not to have like an issue than to have it, because that will stay on my mind for a while and it will take time for me to get over it. So I prefer not to have any issues at all, and I'm not like confrontational, just like my personality. And you just wonder, how is somebody that is not confrontational, that likes to keep to herself, happens to lead the choir? You ask me how, I don't know. It has always been God. Yeah, it has always been God, and I don't know. But one thing that I know that has really helped, when I was called back in campus fellowship, when I was called as a choir leader, and so funny, my husband happened to be my assistant, which is
Hey,
interesting.
choir loved.
Yeah, there was nothing actually. We
Uh,
were just
I'm just putting
loving
a
God
mix.
together.
You love God together and love God into marriage.
Exactly, I'm telling you. And